Today is Wednesday, July 23, 2025. I'm Kira, your pastoral intern, and this is Wilderness Wanderings. Our text for today is from Philippians 4, verses 6 and 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Do not be anxious about anything, Paul begins. Well, that's quite a start. I must confess that I don't know that there is ever a moment in my life where I am anxious about absolutely nothing. There are just maybe about 5 minutes after I read a verse like this, where I'm in a devotional space and I read the text, I pray a prayer of surrender for whatever it is that has just jumped into my head as an example of how bad I am at being obedient to this command. And maybe for those 5 minutes after, I can maintain the kind of non-anxiety Paul is talking about here. But once I've left that quiet devotional space, all of reality comes rushing back in to disrupt my nice pious resolution of mere moments before. Possibly you can relate. I suspect we're not alone. Jesus offers a similar teaching as part of his Sermon on the Mount in Matthew's Gospel. Many of us are likely familiar with the text of Matthew 6 that begins, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life." It continues to reflect on the birds of the air and the flowers of the field, God's provision for them and for us. In both passages, the Greek word for worry or anxiety is the same. And I don't think either, in spite of how they are often read, are a judgment against worry or anxiety. As we have reflected previously this summer, Scripture's commands against fear do not express finger-wagging disapproval, but rather God's desire for his people. The command Paul gives in this passage is not, "Do not be anxious about anything, you irrational and untrusting fools. Do you not know God at all?" No. Paul says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Paul is offering a way of transferring our anxiety and fear to our God, who promises to respond with his peace, so we don't have to carry it alone. Paul also calls the church to offer prayers with thanksgiving. This builds on the theme of joy, which Pastor Michael reflected on yesterday. There are times when, as he described, thanksgiving is not a natural reflection of our circumstances, which may be tremendously painful. However, with the intimacy of God that comes through prayer, we can become people of joy and thanksgiving because of who God is and who he has been and promises he will be, regardless of our present reality. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Jesus Christ for you, Paul reflects similarly in 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Thanksgiving and joy, not fear and anxiety, are God's will for his people. But we don't have to carry the burden of willing or working our circumstances into alignment. In the midst of trials and suffering, we don't have to add the burden of positive thinking. Expressions of grief at what is wrong in our lives and the world is no less holy a form of prayer than joyful prayers in response to what is good, true, and beautiful. Prayer is not first about what we feel, say, or do. It is about who God is and what he can do. We may simply come before him presenting our requests, and he will guard our minds and our hearts in Christ Jesus. So as you journey on, go with the blessing of God. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you wherever he may send you. May he guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May he bring you home rejoicing at the wonders he has shown you. May he bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors.